Welcome back to the Garza Gaming Channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my personal list of the 5 most difficult mages to play in Smite Arena. I made up this list taking in consideration the CC meta of chain CC teams in Smite Arena, the ease of play, survivability, and actual kit, right? Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and turn on those notifications. We tend to put out videos every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but sometimes we throw out videos throughout the week or stream throughout the week, so make sure you have those notifications turned on so you get notified if we do. And if you're tired of playing with all these random people, man, come join us on our Discord. We have awesome people playing a variety of games daily on our Discord. I also put an invite to that in the description in any of our videos and our website, garzagaming.com. And don't forget, we're now live on Twitch and Facebook Gaming under Garza Gaming Channel. So here we go. My personal opinion on who are the 5 most difficult gods to play in Smite Arena. Without any further ado, let's get into it. So first on our list is going to be Teema. Now Teema is a very unique god in the simple fact that she has 2 different stances. She has a melee type stance and a range type stance. But what makes her so difficult is being able to switch between both of those stances, capitalizing on her various different attacks. Tiamat by far is not a very newbie friendly type god and is a god that's going to take a lot of practice with to really understand her capabilities. Additionally, Tiamat is a mage, not a guardian, not a warrior, so she can only use mage type items, making her a sitting duck depending on how you build her in melee stance, right? Because in melee stance, she's pretty much at a point blank range to do damage, opening her up to just get drilled on by range gods or maybe even jumped on by other melee type gods whose kits are designed to do melee type damage. But that's why I think that Tiamat is one of the hardest gods to play in Smite Arena. So the second god on the list is one that's very dear to my heart, and that's Knox. Now Knox is a very powerful god in Smite, but she's also very squishy, right? And the thing about Knox is if you can't land her one at least 90% of the time, Knox is just a bear to play. And the fact that she's so squishy just makes her so easy to kill. Now, one benefit that Knox has amongst other mages is her escape in the way of her 3, right? But unfortunately, Knox has some higher than normal cooldowns for her 1 and 2 early game. So you really have to build her a high cooldown reduction because Knox is one of those guys that relies very heavily on her 2-1 combo. Again, the thing that I believe makes Knox one of the hardest guys to play in Smite Arena is the fact that her number 1 is extremely hard to land. But I tell you what, man, you master that one and whoo-wee, she can do some serious damage. But that's why I think Knox is our number 2 on our list of hardest mages to play in Smite Arena. So the third god on our list of the most difficult gods or difficult mages to use in Smite Arena is Allergan. Now Allergan is a very unique god in the simple fact that this is the only mage that can actually crit. That's right, Allergan can crit with his basic attacks and his special attacks. Now what makes Allergan so difficult to really play in Smite Arena, in my personal opinion, is the fact that he's kind of in the way of a magical hunter. His main damage sources are basic attack and his number 1, which are straight line attacks. Now taking an addition on the difficulty level of his number 1 and the fact that you have to actually charge it for 2 seconds to get max damage out of it makes Allergan a very difficult mage to play in Smite Arena, especially if you're playing against any jumping gods or invis type gods. Now Allergan doesn't really have an escape other than his number 3 that has a small knockback and slows gods for like 2 seconds, or his ult, which puts this big giant rectangle of airspace on the ground, and any guy that passes through actually gets their attack speed slowed and their movement speed slowed. And I believe that Allergan actually gains movement speed while in that box, allowing them to get the heck out of dodge if he gets caught out. But with the the how long it takes for that ult to actually recharge or to come off cooldown doesn't make it very effective, right? So that's why I think that Allergan is one of the hardest gods to play in Smite Arena, for the simple fact that he is a direct type damage god, and any type of lag will affect your ability to track gods, especially when they're moving from left to right, in order to really connect with his basic attack and his number one. But again, that's why I think Allergan is our number 3 for the most difficult mages to play in Smite Arena. So the fourth god on our list is Persephone, of the hardest mages to play in Smite Arena. Now Persephone just got a revamp not too long ago, and a lot of Persephone players didn't really like it, right? Before, when Persephone died, she was still able to do damage while she was in ghost form. But after the revamp, she can no longer do damage in ghost form, but she can plant her little plants, right? Now, what makes Persephone so difficult to play in Smite Arena is that she's very reliant on where she places her seeds and have her plants, right? In addition, the way she does mass damage is by capitalizing between the areas where she planted her seeds, and then being able to capitalize on her 3 to send those seeds or those monsters that come out from the underworld in the way of plants towards the enemy. And these attacks are pretty much straight line attacks. So you have to do two things. You have to anticipate more or less where the enemy is going to be concentrated in. And then you have to line yourselves up, because when you use your 3, she can only go forward or backwards depending on which direction she's moving at the time that she activates that 3. So you have to not only time your position in to be surrounded by your flowers, but also ensure that you're going the right direction when you use the 3 in order to activate those flowers and shoot them in an array that goes at the enemy, right? It's very difficult to play Persephone in Arena. Now, with that said, she has a very nice ult that kind of makes up, I guess, a little for the difficulty of her kit. This ult has a very wide area of effect. It's a straight line attack that can be shot from like almost one end of the map to the other, right? And when it hits, it explodes, and it actually straps vines to any nearby enemies that are in the area of effect of this attack, pretty much snaring them or rooting them in place until they either kill the hive or the main root of this plant, or until the attack runs out or they die, of course, right? Now, she has, like I said, she has a very nice ult, but her rest of her kit is just not very arena friendly in my personal opinion. Again, there are some very heavy hitters that play Persephone in Smite Arena, but they're not that many. In fact, I haven't seen a Persephone in Smite Arena in a very long time, and I believe that's simply because there's a lot more easier to use or more effective mages to use in Smite Arena. So that's why I think Persephone earns our number 4 slot in the hardest mages to play in Smite Arena. Which brings us to our last god, the hardest god to play in Smite Arena, or the hardest mage to play in Smite Arena. In my personal opinion, without any doubt, is Kwang. Kwang is pretty much a magical assassin. The majority of this god's damage is point blank melee type damage. Now, a lot of people think just because he has an invis or an execute that this god, is easy to play, and he is not, for the simple fact that he's a melee type assassin god that does not have all the perks that a normal physical assassin would have in their items, right? There's not too many items that mages can use that adds heavy health or defenses in addition to attack power. And that's what really hurts on Kwang. Now, with that said, he can be very deadly, especially if you build him with really high attack speed and damage. But Kwang is one of those niche type gods that only a few people will really master and make this god their mains, because his difficulty level is just so high in Smite Arena. So that's why I think Kwang earns our number 1 slot for the hardest god or hardest mage god to play in Smite Arena. So that concludes our 5 most difficult mages to play in Smite Arena. Hey, is there a mage out there do you think that should have made the list? If so, put it down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And again, keep in mind that this is my personal opinion of the 5 hardest mages to play in Smite Arena. Everybody might not agree with my list, but these are my personal opinions on the 5 hardest guys to play, or the 5 hardest mages played in Smite Arena. Again, hey, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit that 10,000 subscriber mark by the end of the year. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I'm Dark Garza, your OG on the GC. See you next time.